Hi everybody, this is Captain Ron here aboard the good ship Makalika. Today we're going to be working on removing and fixing and eventually replacing the windows or port lights in the boat. Ranger 26s have 6 windows, 3 on each side. We've got 2 longer ones in the back and then one smaller one to the forward, and I'll show you where they're located. The old windows in here were made of glass, which is good, so they didn't craze or get too cloudy. But unfortunately, they had aluminum trims that corroded and leaked over time, and many efforts were made to seal them up with, silicone. So that, there's gobs and globs of silicone all over these windows, and so basically, I'm going to have them removed and replaced. I contacted, first of all, I did a Google web search for windows for Ranger 26s. Interestingly enough, the original manufacturers who made the boats for the Ranger 26s back in the early 1970s, guess what? They're still in business. They're located up in Corona, California, which is about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive north of here. So I contacted the company, and the owner of Mark Plastics, who is Mark, I think the original owner, he said he had some business down here in San Diego, so he came down one day a week or two ago, and he actually brought down the original engineering templates that they used back in the early 1970s. And he came down, and we came in and measured all the windows. He took some templates on soft craft paper, and he brought those back with him. So he has actually made some new windows for me. They come with a beautiful vinyl trim. The glass this time is going to be a really dark black tint, so almost like you see in cars. So you'll be able to see out, but you won't be able to see in unless it's really well lit inside the boat. So that'll eliminate the curtains that we've had hanging in here. You may have seen them in earlier videos. And it'll actually give the boat a more open appearance on the inside. And certainly on the outside, it's going to be a lot sleeker and slicker and a lot cleaner, because you'll see that the windows, it's just the frames are crusty, corroded, really nasty. The way that you get the windows out is you take a trim piece off the inside. Those are screwed on, and they literally hold the window to the boat. They pull it in from the inside so that it's snug against the outside. On the outside, you put sealant on it so that there's a bead between the window and the hull so that no water gets in. Well, unfortunately, over the years, as I mentioned, because of flexing and poor sealing, they've developed leaks, and so they're just in 40-year-old shape. So these new lights are going to be a vast improvement. Not only getting rid of the leaks, but also making the appearance of the boat from the outside a lot nicer. So I'm looking forward to getting those. Those are supposed to be coming in on Tuesday. Mark is coming down again. He's going to show me how to install one, and then I will install the other 5. So I'll show you a video of how that operation goes. You can see here in this video up here, this tape and paper. The old window's been taken out, and I've taped it on the inside so that when I sand on the outside, all the stuff doesn't come inside here. The inside's in actually pretty good shape. I think I could just clean it up, do a couple of epoxy fills. There's a little nail hole up here that needs to be sealed up, but generally it's a pretty good, it's a pretty simple operation. The nice thing about these old Rangers is there's an inside liner, this vinyl liner that goes along the entire side of the cabin. The nice thing about it is there's no core in either the liner or the vertical side of the hull or the cabin top side. And there's nothing in between the liner and the outside decking except for air. Well, that means I don't have to do any kind of core replacement, any kind of epoxy repairs, which is going to be make it really simple. What happens is the hull liner And the outside hull, they snug up together very tightly. I measured it, and it's like anywhere from 5 to 7 millimeters, so the tolerances are pretty close. And we'll be able to put in these windows really simply, really easily. And I think it'll be a better installation than even the original windows. So I look forward to doing that, and we'll be talking about that more later. So now on to the repair work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you outside the boat and show you the windows on the starboard side that have not been removed, and you'll get a sense of what kind of shape they're in. Here's what the windows look like from the outside. This is the starboard side. You can see that there's a bunch of silicone here it's peeling off. It looks unsightly. For some reason they took this one window off and painted it blue. But this is all going to be removed. This deck has to be, or the top side has to be sanded down, smooth, and then primed and painted. So the first thing we're going to do is pop the windows out. Here's the second one on the starboard side. Same issues here. The paint's peeling. We got a bunch of goop all around it. And then this is the smaller port light on the forward starboard side, and same issues there. The way to get these out is there's a trim piece on the inside, and we'll take that off in a little bit. And once that trim piece is off, we can break the seal here with a paint scraper or a razor knife and actually pull the window out from the inside the boat. And I'll show you how that goes in a little bit. This is what the windows look like on the inside. We have these curtains here. Those will come off, but as you can see, the trim piece is held on by these screws. Now some of these are a little corroded and they're a little bit difficult to get off, but a little penetrating oil, I'll get some off. You can see the corrosion on the trim on the inside, and this one has not really leaked that bad. I think this is the one that was repaired and painted, but you can see we got metal missing here, which is corroded over time. So those will be removed, and then we'll pop the windows out. Similar situation here. This is the, whoops, here goes the, this is the original window. Okay, here's what the windows look like from the inside of the boat. You can see this is the original green one. You can see the corrosion here, where we've got metal loss and leakage over time. So this is all going to be replaced. This is the blue window that we saw on the outside of the starboard, and that has been painted on the inside also, hopefully to be restored, but it really needed to be replaced, so that's going to be done. What I'll show you in a little bit is I'll take the screws off, and then we'll show you how to get the window out. This is what the windows look like once they are removed. I'm hanging onto the rail on the port side of the boat, hoping not to fall into the water. But you can see where this has been taken off and sanded, and there you can see the liner between the inside liner versus the outside deck, and you can see where, see these flex together, so they form a thickness of about, as I mentioned, 5 to 7 millimeters. So this can be very nice to put together. Now this window has been taken out, but has not been cleaned up on the outside. In fact, I have a lot more sanding to do on the outside here on all the windows before I do the priming. It's been taped up on the inside so that we are not going to get any dust or crud into the inside of the boat. This rail here, probably going to take that off just so I can mask off that area. I hate to open up something where it needs to be sealed, but that'll give me an opportunity to seal it even better when I come back and finish it off. So the goal here is to paint this entire vertical side of the cabin, going all the way forward, around the front, and then around the other side. Yeah, we want to paint the entire vertical side of the cabin, around the front, and then around this backside. So it's going to take a couple hours just to sand it off, and then we'll put a coat or two of primer on it, and hopefully put the finish coat on tomorrow morning, and then we'll be ready for the new windows.